Hello and welcome to today's Success Life Radio. My name is Eric Reed and I am your host. And I really do appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to tune into this podcast and lean into your growth, your personal or professional growth. What I know as a coach is that growth has to be planned. It has to be intentional. We have to have a strategy for how we're going to grow both personally and professionally. And if we don't, on one point, what's the point of living? But on the other hand, how can we move to the next level if we're not intentional about that? And that's in any area of our life, whether it be our fitness or our finances or our faith, our business, our family, our relationships. We have to be intentional about that growth. We have to understand that it's not going to happen accidentally. And so by tuning in to podcasts like this Success Life Radio, you're showing that you're intentional about it. Now, one way you can raise that intentionality is by taking notes. I know it seems a little odd, like we're back in school, but I take notes when I listen to podcasts, watch TV, or info webcasts, or, I have a notebook at hand for pretty much everything that I'm doing, because I never know when something's going to stick out and strike me as like, man, I needed to know that. And now I have a place to record it and then go back and reflect on it and use it strategically to grow myself, whether it's personally or professionally. So I encourage you to do the same. Today I want to talk about what to do when an opportunity comes, or how do you filter those opportunities and make them into growth modes? All right, so if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to get started with today's lesson.
You are listening to the Success Life Live with Eric G. Reed. Please take a minute and comment, subscribe, like, or follow our show. And to stay up to date on events and teaching, check out ericgreed.com.
So, opportunities, all day long we are confronted with options or opportunities or, the next big thing. And often when they come flying at me, because I'm an I personality, if you understand DISC, that's the I or influencer. I tend to see possibilities in everything. If I spend $1 on the lottery ticket, I've already won. And I've already painted the world and built schools and changed. I can tell you everything I'm going to do with the $100 million jackpot before I start. So I've had to learn how to filter opportunities, how to sit back and say, okay, just because this opportunity is presented itself, is it first for me? Is now the right time? And is this the right vehicle? So one question that I'll ask myself is, what could possibly go wrong? And I'm willing to accept the consequences of that. So the what if question, what could go wrong? Now, for me, like I said, sometimes I'm a bit of an optimist. I'm like, nothing. And so I'll seek out other people and say, so here's the opportunity. Help me understand what could go wrong. Help me see the picture. And sometimes they'll give me feedback, and sometimes I'll create my own worst case scenario. I'm like, okay, if that should happen, if the train should go off the track, so to speak, am I okay with that? Am I ready to accept that consequence? Am I able to handle that? If I invest this and it doesn't return that, am I okay with the outcome? So often, we choose to be fearful of the opportunity without knowing the consequences and if we can handle it. And often what happens when I ask myself that question of what possibly could go wrong, what are the consequences, and am I okay with it? I sort of develop a plan that says, okay, if that should happen, here's what I would do, here's what I can do, here's the solutions, here's the precautions, here's the safety nets that I can put in. So I don't necessarily have to go all the way to the bottom, but I know what my exit strategy is if we're looking in that direction. So that first question that you might want to ask yourself when you're looking at opportunities is, what could possibly go wrong? Am I willing to accept the consequences if it does? The second one is, does this opportunity make sense? Or am I trying to make it make sense? Sometimes out of desperation, we'll see an opportunity and try and force it in, sort of that square peg in the round hole thing. It's like, yeah, it's a great opportunity. Why isn't it fitting? I got to make it fit. I don't want to lose it. I got to hold on to it. This has got to be for me. This has got to be the right opportunity, or it wouldn't come in my inbox. Hint, they sent the same thing out to like 4,000 other people. So let's get clear. So is this opportunity make sense? And does it make sense for me? That's two questions in one. Like, aside from me personally, does this opportunity make sense? What the offer and the options and all of it, does it make sense? Is it logical? Okay, that sounds like a sound opportunity that makes business sense. It makes financial sense. There's logic in it. I can see the process and the system, and I can see how doing A, B, C could result in D. Okay, that opportunity makes sense. Now, the second part of that question becomes, does that opportunity make sense for me? Just because it makes sense, it may not necessarily make sense for me. Or am I trying to force it into being me? It's difficult sometimes because we'll see people taking on opportunities, and we'll see what's happening in their business. We'll see what's happening in their personal lives. We'll see their life, and we're like, man, they have everything I want. So every opportunity that they get, I'm going to get, and I'm going to copy them, taking them, and it's going to fit. And it doesn't necessarily work out that way. There are many things that my professional peers are doing that, as much as I would like that opportunity, or I think that opportunity would really be great, when I look at my bigger picture, when I look at my business plan, when I look at my goals, objectives, and values, it doesn't really fit in. And so though it's a great opportunity for them, it doesn't make sense for me. The third question I'll often ask myself about opportunities that come are, am I prepared to do this? Now, I have to be cautious because fear will say you're not ready, you're not big enough, you're not smart enough, you're not tall enough, whatever it is. Fear will talk me out of being prepared. But if I can pull back and look at it and say, okay, am I really prepared for this opportunity? Have I been working towards this? Is this the next logical step? Now, it may be a big step. It may be more than I was ready for. But am I prepared to take on the challenge? I'm okay with being challenged. I'm okay with growing. I'm okay with pushing myself to the next place. But am I prepared for this opportunity really translates into me understanding that is this the next logical step in my growth? Or am I trying to leapfrog over learning? You know, I began doing podcasts ages ago. I began doing Facebook Lives 1,000 Facebook Lives ago. If at number 10, somebody would have said, we want you to do a syndicated TV show or a syndicated radio show, was I prepared? I would have to say no. I hadn't developed the discipline. I hadn't developed the ability to create content. I hadn't developed the confidence in either of those mediums to really own the next opportunity and make it successful. Now, if you want to call me and offer me a radio or a TV spot and you want to say, look, we think you'd be great at this. We've watched your content. We've watched what you've created. We've watched what you developed. We need to tune it, tighten it, and put it together at another level so that you can go to the next level. I'm prepared for that. I've done my homework. I've done my time in the dark. So when I look at opportunities, that's one of the questions I ask. Am I prepared for this? Have I done my homework to earn the right to stand here? The next question is, does this increase or decrease my options by waiting? So if I wait, does it only allow me to get better so that when the opportunity comes again, I'm better prepared? Or is this opportunity going to decrease other options? What I say to my clients is once we've made a commitment, we often lose options. When you've made a commitment to something, you often lose options to make commitments to other things or opportunities to take part in other things. Accepting a full-time career Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in a corporate setting, that's a choice. What options does that eliminate? And what options does that increase for me as it relates to my overall bigger mission? In some cases, I may say, you know what? It decreases the opportunity for me to travel independently as a speaker. However, it increases my opportunities to grow my skills in organization, in leadership, and in project management, which are more in line with where I want to go. So when I look at an opportunity, I'll often make a sheet of paper and I'll say, where does this increase? Where does this decrease? What does this give to me? And what does this take away from me? Sort of a bit of the law of the trade-off in the sense of taking this, what do I gain? What do I lose? And then I'll ask, how are those in alignment with my bigger picture, my bigger mission, my bigger vision for myself, for my family, for my business? The last question that I would often ask myself is, when is the best time to make this decision or the right decision? When I look at my business plan, when I look at my financial plan, when I look at my personal growth plan, and when I look at my overall time management plan, so to speak, I'll say, you know what, this opportunity seems to be arriving right on schedule for where I want it to be next in my business, in my life, in my career, in my whatever. Or, wait a minute, this opportunity came here really at the beginning of the story. And if I do this, then I eliminate all of this. And is this really the right time? Like, it's a great opportunity. It fits with everything else, but is that timing right? And we struggle with timing because we live sometimes in a lack environment. We believe that there's only one chance, that we're only going to be given one opportunity. We don't have that abundance mindset. So out of fear, we're going to be like, yeah, but if I pass it up, it'll never come again. This is the one and only chance I get. You know, you don't understand how many people would die for that opportunity. I get all that. And I understand that fear and that concern and that caution, especially if you're running a team, running a company, the head of a family where you've got other people depending on you. But my belief and my personal experience is sometimes releasing that opportunity to somebody else or returning it with gratitude, saying, you know what, I really appreciate this opportunity. This is something that I'm complete in alignment with, but the timing's not right for me, for my team, for my company, for my family, whatever it is. They remember that and they're like, you know what? We're going to keep you in mind. We're not letting you go because we agree. We think you and this opportunity belong together. Maybe we were presumptuous. Maybe we were preemptive. Maybe we'll do this again next year and we'd love to have you already book your calendar and be a part of it. So understanding that opportunities can be right, but timing can be wrong. Just remember, today you're being presented with lots of opportunities. Our inboxes are full of opportunities. It seems like we can't get away from the next best thing that's going to make us better, stronger, faster, taller, richer, famouser, whatever. Take a moment and really filter those opportunities. Slow down and ask yourself these questions. And I'll give them to you again, and I'll make sure they're available to you in the show notes. So do listen into that. And while you're down there in the show notes, leave a comment. Talk about the opportunities you may have taken or passed up. So the first one is, what could possibly go wrong? And am I ready for the consequences if it does? The second question that I filter is, does this opportunity make sense? And then does it make sense for me, or am I trying to make it make sense? Number 3 is really, am I prepared for this opportunity or to do this? Have I done the homework to earn my place in line? Number 4 is, does this increase or decrease my options if I wait? By waiting, do I increase or decrease the options I have at hand? And then number 5 is this the best time to make the decision regarding this opportunity? Timing. The law of timing is so critical in our success journey. So again, open yourself to the opportunities. Be available, be aware, trust that you're worthy of the opportunities that are coming your way, but also run them through a quick filter. Don't get distracted by the opportunities that aren't divinely designed for you and your business or your personal growth or whatever journey you're on. All right? Well, I thank you for joining me for today's Success Life Live Radio. Again, my name is Eric Reed. I'm your host. If I can be of any service to you now or in the future, please reach out to me and let me know. And I look forward to speaking to you next week. And until then, remember, you are worthy of your success. So go out and achieve it today.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Success Life Live with your host, Eric G. Reed. Remember to stay connected with us at ericgreed.com for updates on events and teaching. Till next time, go out and live your life of success.